Good day, goeiedag, dumela. O amohetse mo moketeng wa tsa bonono wa Vrystaat. I am Boitumelo Mohutiwa, and I have here Erwin and Crystal.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here. They're in the production Alpha. So could you please tell us a little bit about the show?
Well, Alpha is a production that is playing at the Free State Arts Festival at Parkhoffs in the André Huguenet Theatre this Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. This kind of generated last year at the World Summit in Asetesh, the Asetesh World Summit in Cape Town, I should say, which is a theatre conference for theatre for young audiences. And I met there a Flemish director, theatre maker, Stef de Pape, and then the festival director of the Free State Arts Festival and the Nati Fund, who is a big funder for this production, asked both of us if we wanted to collaborate on a project for theatre for young audiences, in this case specifically for teenagers. And so that's where it all started. Then I brought in Guy Delancey, who is South African, but lives in New York, where I live as well. And I brought in a fellow countryman, because I'm from the Netherlands. I brought in also a Dutch designer. So they are both the designing team, and Steph and I are the directors of the project.
Lovely. So tell me why you guys are focusing on the teenagers with this specific production.
Well, they're just a very interesting group of people, I would say. But it was also a little bit of a mission. Both the festival and the Nati Fund said that it's really an underdeveloped sector, theatre-wise, that there could be much more and different kind of theatre. So we also got a mission to create something that is different from what people might think theatre is. So our performance is definitely not your average performance. It's kind of a game show, opera, dance party, and circus all together.
Yeah.
So it will be a big surprise for people, I think. It will be a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So take us through the process of putting the production together. Like, well, how did you guys work on the production?
So we started by casting some actors also, of course, by talking a lot about it. We also worked with Amy Lecasse. She's a color playwright who writes both in English and Afrikaans. We're using some of her texts as well as completely other texts. So it's really a collage piece. It's not a narrative story where you follow a few roles. It's actually a collage of many different scenes, which we found that is something that also the youth is very interested in. Because they're, of course, it's very normal for them now to look at multiple screens and create stories from completely different sources. So we went to numerous high schools in and around Bloemfontein, the Oranje Meisjes School, the Unicie High School, Botshabelo Performing Arts High School, and Heatherdale in Heidedal. And we did workshops and interviews with the students. And some of those students are also in the performance on video, not live. And so that's where we did a lot of our research and work. So a lot of it is based on those interviews, except that the texts are coming from novels, films, other plays, all of it. And then we have 7 phenomenal actors. What is really exciting to say is that it's an incredibly inclusive and diverse cast, because I think for the new generation, which Alpha, and that's why it's called Alpha, it's the next generation is called Alpha, they're growing up in a completely diverse world, not just here, but globally. And so it was very important for us to get an incredibly diverse cast. And we also are using 5 different languages, all the way from Afrikaans to English to Mandarin. But predominantly it's in English and Afrikaans, so most people will understand everything. And then we have a very special guest appearance by a specific actress right next to me. Yes.
That's lovely. So, Crystal, you're an actress in the show.
Yes.
Take us through the rehearsal process. How is it different from any other show that you've done?
Well, it's very different. First of all, like without giving too much away, my things, like I am a televised reporter, so my things are recorded, and I'm a news reporter, and she's not the conventional news reporter, and what is interesting is that, first of all, what I love about this piece is that there are so many things, like just to echo Owen, there are so many things that the youth are facing now. And it's a lovely way to address certain issues in a non-traditional way. Something other than them watching something on TV, you know. If you take, for example, something like suicide, you've got something like 13 Reasons Why. So then, but that is something that, you know, they watch on TV. Now you have a theatre production so we are also getting younger people, you know, to the theatre and stuff. But yeah, so my character, she might appear to be rambling, but it's all about like the commentary on what we are going through, not just not only the alpha generation, but the millennials and the baby boomers and everyone, because we are all together in this world now, and we all have to deal with, you know, all of the things like technology and how that affects our lives, and cyberbullying and stuff like that. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's some of the themes that Crystal is touching upon.
Yeah.
These were themes that came back in every single high school, even though these high schools are vastly different, obviously. But some of the themes that came back in every high school, which we will touch upon in the performance, is pressure. The Generation Alpha feels like a generation under pressure by themselves, by their peers, by teachers, by family, by society. So pressure is one, cyberbullying is another. The idea of blessers, which was something I had never heard of before, but that is something we touch upon as well, but in a very different way, because I think a lot of theatre, particularly for young audiences, tends to be quite didactic. It's very much like, don't do this or don't do that, and I think we were really searching for a way to make it theatrical. So it might not necessarily all be very realistic or very straight into your face. But I think if you use your imagination, people will start seeing, oh, this is what that is about, and this is what that is about. Wow. So it's a very exciting performance, interactive, multimedia, and like I said, in multilingual as well.
Yeah, and visually, like just from watching it visually, it's so beautiful as well.
Well, that's important. I mean, we're all about the visuals today.
Exactly,
This honestly sounds like such an important production, actually, because theatre is always supposed to be relevant to who's seeing it. Like, I mean, the youth really wants to be involved, and I think this will be a very lovely production to see.
Yeah, they will be involved for sure.
Yeah.
And we also specifically made it for them. So, though it's really fun for parents as well, but I do say we really made it for the teens, and the parents will enjoy it, and some things they might not enjoy as much, but the teens will.
Yeah, parents, bring your kids.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bring your kids.
Yes.
Don't take them to the movies. Bring them to Alpha.
Yes.
They must come to the theatre. Theatres
Yes.
are things now.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Owen, you mentioned that you have about 7 actors in the production.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know with Crystal, like, I'm sure it's very diverse. How is it working with the other actors?
What I love about it is it's my first time working with any of them, actually, except for Gerben, who was actually one of my lecturers at Koffsies.
Cool.
And I've worked with him as a director, but not as part of one
Yeah,
production.
so that must be like a different experience.
Yes. And it's so beautiful to see such a not only racially diverse cast, but in terms of our ages as well. We come from different generations, so we each bring our own little generational energy, whatever generation you come from. You know, it's just this like lovely melting pot of different energies from different ages and cultures and ethnic backgrounds and whatever. So it's been really fun, and it's really fun to just watch them. Our youngest cast member is 17 years old.
Wow.
She's 17 years old.
Sure.
You know, and then you get Gerben, who
who's
is
like-
not 17 years old. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see, and it's beautiful to see how people that are so far apart in terms of age, how we work together to create this product.
I think the most important thing also to mention in that case is that it is not about diversity.
Yes.
That is very important, because I think a lot of the theater I see here where it is diverse, it tends to be about that.
Yeah.
It tends to be about either race or the age or gender. whereas our piece is diverse, but just merely as a reflection of society,
Yes,
which is what
yes.
this alpha generation is
Yes.
growing up in.
Yeah.
So we're not touching upon the diversity aspect at all. It is just there because it's there in society.
Yeah, and then also like it's also just a thing like Owen said, it's not about the diversity, and it also shows us that it's like we look different and we are of different ages within a certain generation, but we are all going through this.
Yes.
You know, so
yes.
yeah.
A reflection of society. It's very, very wonderful. That's all the time we have, guys. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. I am looking forward to this production, and I believe everyone else is.
Yes.
Oh, it's been lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's all, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And please don't forget to catch Alpha at the Vrystaat Arts Festival. And just a reminder, where will the show be showing?
It will be showing at the André Huguenet Theatre in Pakos on Monday and Tuesday at 7:30 in the evening and on Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Lovely. That's Alpha, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.